Hey, just a question. Do you have an account in one of these two sites? And if the answer is yes, did you ever read the privacy policies? Some of you might say yes, most of you will say no. But don't worry, I am here to help you out with this. We are going to read some of these documents along with some parts of interesting PDFs and research articles that I found on my casual jogs on the internet. Maybe we'll find out that my man MZ or some other fellas are watching you. Maybe we'll find out that they are actually the real heroes of the story. Maybe we'll find, well, nothing. For some, social media might be another harmless pastime activity. For others, it's a modern devil ready to eat up all of your precious hours. There is some scientific evidence that the extreme use of social media can lead to depression. There was a recent study made in the Hill University that correlated social media with insomnia and loneliness, along with another research in Poland that tried to make some experiments to see if prolongated use of Facebook could diminish empathy. But you know, who actually needs empathy, right? I actually downloaded the transcript of MZ's Senate hearing, so let's follow his advice to one of the senators and read the policies and terms of service. Facebook has the most dense paragraphs about the types of information they collect, probably because all the attention they receive. All of the other privacy policies do almost the same thing, but Facebook makes everything very clear and long and descriptive. You might as well just read "You're a part of a social experiment." Information and content you provide, networks and connections, usage, information about transactions, and device information. Of course, all of this makes sense from the point of view of a developer. I myself study computer science, and it makes sense from all this information to be collected to make the business profit. I remember reading some part of the Senate hearing that some senator told MZ that people may not read the terms of service or something like that, and even if they read it, they will not understand it. However, if you really think about it, if you stop for a second and actually read and understand all this stuff, you're probably not gonna make a Facebook account. But how do they use that information? Across Facebook products like Messenger or Instagram, location-related information, product research, face recognition, and obviously, ads. They make it very clear that they don't share any personal information that identifies you. Only general demographics and interest information to help their advertisers understand their audience. We don't sell your information to anyone and we never will. That's what Mark Zuckerberg tried to teach the senators in their hearing. But after all the company's been through, it's kinda hard to believe that there isn't something dodgy happening inside. They also use the information to promote safety, integrity, and security. Sure. To communicate with you and to do research. Oh, alright. So the last one I didn't know about, I guess they help research in different areas. There's a big discussion about how Facebook shares their information with third parties. When reading these data policies, I start to have the feeling that there's a lot of repetition in some paragraphs. They mention advertisers again, research again, vendors and service providers. How do Facebook companies work together, including WhatsApp and Oculus? They process information across all these companies as permitted by applicable law and in according to with their terms. How do they respond to legal requests? Okay. So they will only respond if they have good faith that the law requires them to. So by other words, they will do everything possible to not respond to the law. That's basically what's happening here. They keep talking a little bit about some legal stuff, of course, repeating again some information. I don't know what's that all about. Someone reading these privacy policies might be very confused and lost in all of these hundreds of links that they share. In the transcript of the Senate hearing, there was also one senator that commented about the deceptions made in the past by the policies. However, Zuckerberg addressed after a while that struggles the company have in making a straightforward privacy policy. Could be an excuse, could be real, I don't know. It's not like the privacy policies is gonna tell us something completely new, really. Let's move on to TikTok. The first thing I noticed is that they make a different categorization, information you choose to provide and information collected automatically. Which makes a lot of sense if you really think about it. I wanna know exactly what they are going to take it and I can't do anything about it. And the information that I can choose to give or not. Like, this is important. They also collect location data, but not precise. And pretty much similar to Facebook, except that in TikTok you choose to tell your age and registration information, which makes sense because they have different approaches. How do they use the information? They divide the privacy policies in different parts for different countries, adding important information depending on where you at. Okay, my god, there's so much stuff, so much that no one's going to read. This is so boring, Jesus. They have a different type of policy for children in the US. Younger users also have a more limited interactive experience. For example, they can exchange messages with other users, and other users can view their profiles. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. It's just an extra page adding a lot of the same information. Although we'll do our best to protect your information, for example, by encryption, we cannot guarantee the security of your information transmitted through the platform. Any transmission is at your own risk, of course, because kids are the most responsible creatures in the planet. If you are in the European Economic Area, United Kingdom or Switzerland, there's a different section for you. I feel like it's very similar, except it's less organized than the US section, where local laws allow us to recollect and process your messages, which includes scanning and analyzing the information in those messages. That information includes the content of the message and information about the message about when the message has been sent, received, or read, as well as the participants in the communication. They do this to detect crimes and protect younger users. Well, there's that. I guess you already know what to expect if you're sending a message in TikTok. Also, they collect location data in these countries, but they don't ask for permission apparently. If it's inside a jurisdiction, they will also use GPS. There is 10 pages dedicated to you if you're not in the US, EA, the United Kingdom, or Switzerland. Let's pick a random location and read a little bit, I guess. If you're using our services in Indonesia, the following additional terms apply. By accessing and or using this platform, you represent that you are in the at least 21 years of age or married or not under guardianship. Okay, so in Indonesia, the age gap is 21. If it's less than that, you need approval from a legal guardian. Okay, so if you're 18 and you're married, you can use it, I guess, or less. In Russia, for example, it's super vague. They only tell us, the only thing different is that your personal data will be transferred from Russia to Singapore. Okay. And there's nothing about China either. I guess there's a different documentation and more restrict. TikTok was very annoying. Alright, let's move on to Twitter. I don't have a Twitter, but I instantly feel good opening this document. First of all, they separate the privacy policies in an actual PDFs. Oh my god, it's the organization, the PDFs. I love PDFs. Oh my god, Okay, and second of all, in the third page there's a general kind of briefing of everything. You should read this policy in full, but here are a few things we hope you take away from it. Okay, great. That's perfect actually. They basically tell everything you need to know in 5 paragraphs. Easy enough. You can also download your information and content. I didn't know that. Could you do the same in the other platforms? I don't remember. It's really short and quick, large paragraphs, really large paragraphs actually, but only 19 pages with big titles. I guess it's like that because Twitter is really public and tweets are immediately viewable and searchable by anyone around the world. It doesn't have that big potential of data collection like Facebook, but it doesn't mean it's completely free of privacy breaches. Pretty boring, pretty boring nonetheless, but you can handle the reading, it's handleable. The Twitter policies actually made me question this dilemma. Should you be having a very short privacy policy or a big one, like with a lot of the legal data? Even though Twitter is quick and straightforward, it makes me think like they could be omitting something with this really short policy. I don't know. Maybe I should rate this, maybe I should do like a tier list of privacy policies. Well, that was the most boring shit I ever read. It was like a dopamine detox, Jesus. So consider subscribing and maybe try to read some of these before making an account. I can't blame you if you don't read it because it's really annoying. Well, see ya.